Here we go, sports fans, as we roll into week 15 of the NFL and things really start to get interesting. We've got a great look ahead at this weekend's full slate of games that includes Saturday, 3 games this Saturday, on top of a World Cup final. I'm your host, Jonah. With me, as always, is my man, RPF. This is Sports, of course, with Jonah and RPF. You can find us everywhere you listen to your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Podbean. Anywhere else you listen to them, we are everywhere. We can also be found socially, Instagram and Twitter, as well as our dedicated YouTube channel. Just go to any of those platforms and in the search bar, search Sports, of course, with Jonah and RPF, and we'll pop right up. RPF, massive weekend of games, I should say. What do you got?
I can't think of a bigger weekend in the world for sports. I mean, think about it. For the American obsession with football. In
the world, right, yeah.
Yep. So we have the three Saturday games, which are all nationally televised on the NFL Network, which is free for everyone. So basically, basic cable. But if you don't have basic cable, then you should be like with Aaron Rodgers doing a manifesto in the cabin. But the point is that it's 3 games on Saturday, including the Saturday Night Live special with the Dolphins at Buffalo.
And then we have Sunday,
and then you have the Sunday games, which include like the Bengals and Bucks in the afternoon as a huge game for everyone. And then you have the World Cup Sunday morning for us and final. So that's going to be it's going to be a packed weekend for sure.
Yeah. It should be fantastic. I am absolutely thrilled about it. It's going to be a lot of just a lot of great watching this all unfold in front of our eyes. Let's get into let's start with our kind of our weekend headline. Let's give me your thoughts on this year after a year of pretenders. Are some of the sort of perennial just powerhouses starting to go, you know what? We've been here the whole time. This really isn't all.
Yeah, it's a bit like, honestly, we don't know yet because we're recording this before the World Cup final teams are set. So it's a bit like if Argentina and France expectedly get to the final. It's a bit like the NFL after a whole year of these teams bubbling, the New York Giants, are they for real? All these type of teams are like, and all of a sudden you have, it could end up being, teams we expected, right? Eagles, Cowboys. It could be Chiefs, Bills. So I think however they got there, the older, the expected teams, Bengals, the type of teams are now still in the situation where they could easily get to another conference final, aka Super Bowl. So I think it's a great type of bubbling under during the season. But now, let the big boys play now. So that's I think we may be at that week when we determine if some of these pretenders, which I'm including the Dolphins in that category, some of these pretenders could step up and become actual contenders. So
yeah. I'd say I agree 100% across the board, maybe with the exception of the Detroit Lions, baby.
Listen, I've been a Lions advocate from the beginning. I said Dan Campbell was going to be coach of the year back before the season started and didn't start out very well in that direction. But let me tell you, if the Lions beat the Jets this week,
hang on, I want to look up. I haven't looked at their schedule. I'm curious.
Who else do they play? That's a great question. Actually, I should know that
because they do have this off chance to just sneak in the playoffs. Oh my!
And believe me, no one wants to face the Lions in the.
These are all in my opinion. These are
winnable games.
Yeah. We got Jets, Panthers, Bears, Packers.
Oh, they sweep. Oh my God, the Lions are coming roaring back. So what's the record now? They're 6-7.
Let me check it out here. Playoff standings. They are currently. I guess they're so far back that.
They're 6-7, I believe, or something.
6-7. I think that sounds right. 6-7.
So they're going to be 10-7. They're going to be like the number 5 seed. No one wants to play Detroit. It's going to be fun. I'm telling you.
I'm down.
They're legitimately favored in every game that you mentioned. So
I believe so. Listen, both my parents are from Detroit. I'm down. I'm down. I don't have an NFC team.
How I didn't know that Yeah. Diana Ross and Marvin Gaye were your parents. That's just an amazing status.
Right.
You're a Motown kid. Wow, I didn't know that. You never mentioned that ever. That's interesting.
Well, you heard it first.
Like,
on
I've always thought of you
Sports.
as this like maple tree tapping like New Englander that chops wood for fun or something.
Well, in fairness, I was born here. I was born in New England, but yes,
okay.
both my parents are from the Motor City.
Wow, interesting. Very interesting. I didn't know that at all. Okay, that gives you more credit in my eyes. Okay,
cool. All right, I'm glad.
You're not just a regional dude. You're actually more like you cross time zones into the Midwest. I like it.
All right, so let's take a look. Like we said, this is being recorded before the actual World Cup finals. Let's take a very brief look into what we think might be the outcome of those. Obviously,
I mean, ideally, Messi would be leading the Argentinians to the first World Cup with Messi.
Listen, let's not even spend a lot of time on it. I think you and I are both on the same page. I'd love to see Messi win a World Cup. I think he's a great superstar. To my knowledge, I've never seen him on the shitty end of the tabloids.
Right.
So I'm definitely pulling for Messi. Hopefully,
this is Messi's John Elway moment when John Elway was he didn't win Super Bowl. Right. And he won back-to-back Super Bowls, and then he retired on the field. I mean, of the second Super Bowl, I'm like, that was Dan Marino's. That was my storybook ending for Dan Marino, who also didn't win Super Bowl for the Dolphins. So I think this is Messi's. I mean, sentimentally, as a team, Morocco would be fantastic to somehow see them in the final. But realistically, if Messi and Argentina, look, if it's Croatia and France, then France, I think, will win back-to-back World Cups for the first time, probably ever from any team. Maybe Brazil.
No, I think Brazil did it. It's been the announcers bring it up here and there on
So I think it's
broadcast.
I mean, my head is saying France, my heart is saying Morocco, Argentina. Hopefully, with Messi winning the final.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's dive into this massive slate of football games starting Saturday afternoon. Let's take a look ahead. So actually, you know what? Let's just go right into those primetime games there starting on Saturday.
Yeah. Dolphins and Bills.
Let's go chronologically here. So our first one up is going to be Colts Vikings. Not much going on.
Put it this way:
there.
the Vikings lose that game, they're not real. They're just a paper tiger.
They're into the If the Vikings lose that game, the Lions could win the division.
That's my point. So go Colts. I'm all in for the Colts here.
That would be pretty fascinating. Then we also have Ravens Browns. I don't know. I mean, yes, the Ravens are still battling for first place.
Is Deshaun going to be better? I mean, you think he's going to be?
Listen, I just don't think so. I don't think he's.
By the way, another team. If the Ravens lose to these people, I mean, they lost to the Jaguars a couple weeks ago. I mean, if they lose to the Browns, are they pretenders? And how much can Lamar do?
That's a very interesting, contender-pretender scenario. The Ravens. I don't know what to do with them. I don't.
Me neither.
They're 9-4,
but they're another team no one wants to face, but they're beatable once you face them. So it's just like.
Yeah, they have that history. All right, and then we got Saturday Night Live with RPF's Dolphins going up against the Bills.
I may have mentioned last week.
With our predicted nor'easter snow blizzard coming through.
That's what I'm saying. We have our Hawaiian Samoan prince Tua, who was used to we played the Chargers in LA at SoFi. We had two warming heaters on the sideline when it was 50 degrees. So I'm a little concerned that our luau-loving man of the hour, Tua, is going to be, once again, just because last year, if history is prelude, was his worst game of his career up until the Charger game, was against the Bills at Buffalo without weather, just, cold.
Mm-hmm.
They're predicting 6 inches of snow and possible flurries and blizzard and that's typical a balmy day in Buffalo, so this poor fans. But I think, I don't know. I'm hoping again, it's the optimist pushing through that. I think we've had such bad games, such horrible type of expectation letdown for us. That could this be the game that we don't expect to win and somehow we pull off? I mean, I don't know. So I'm gonna hope. I think there's a solid 36% chance that we pull off the upset. I think it has to come down to Tua being angry and focused. and lucky. And if that happens, then we still have Cheetah and Waddle and those
That's
weapons.
the trifecta, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Angry,
That's my
focused, and
point.
lucky.
That's it. This when people say all the stars have to be aligned. This is that game. So let's suppose for 1 second they don't. Then, like the Lions, we are favored to win the 3 games left, which are Patriots, Jets, and Packers. 2 of them are at home. The Patriots at New England. So we could end up being 11-6 and just in the bottom tier of the playoff teams. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's see what happens on Saturday Night Live.
I would just like to point this out. I'll just like to, as of right now on ESPN, I'm gonna hold this up there for you. This is the matchup predictor for the Dolphins Patriots game on January 1st.
Okay.
Dolphins chance of winning. Dolphins 44%, Patriots 55%.
Okay. Keep in touch. Okay, fine. Even at halftime of that game,
they were favored to win the rest of their games. I was just
they will be. So I'm not 100%. Even if we're not.
All right. Well, hey. All right. Let's. You know what? Let's take the gloves off even more, because going into Sunday's games, I got my Patriots going up against the Raiders. I got my gear on. I'm evoking my old. This is Brewski. Okay. This is Brewski, king of linebackers.
That's old school. Yeah.
Trying to evoke the old Patriots of yesteryear. So we're going up against the Raiders. We have a couple games in here. So the whole AFC East is kind of starting to play out here. Obviously, a lot of conferences are. But listen, right now, I would just love to get to the playoffs and see what happens. Do I think we're going to make a dramatic run? No, but I just love to get there. It'd be amazing. It'd be amazing just to watch a playoff game. And
if they told you this before the season that you get to be the 7th seed, you'd be like, great.
Yeah, sure. And so for me, I've got the Patriots going up against the Raiders, who are pretty iffy, and then Dolphins against the Bills, Jets against the Lions, who we just talked about. And then I also need I want to get rid of the Chargers too. I want to get them out of their wild card scenarios. I want to get them out of there too.
They're very annoying. Yeah.
But meaning this is also a big weekend, because unlike Miami, the Patriots, we still have Cincinnati and Buffalo left on the schedule. So this is we need this one. And
for sure.
If for some by some, I don't want to say miracle, because I think it's less than that. But let's say the Dolphins do lose, the Jets do lose, and we do win. Now
which is the likely scenario, by the way.
Sure, it's a very likely scenario. We're all mashed up at the Jets will be in last at 7-7. I think they'll be.
And we'll be 8-7. We'll be 8-6. You'll be 8-6 as well.
Right. Us two will be 8-6. Jets.
We'll be above you because we beat you.
Yes. You hold the tiebreaker. Yes, correct. So all of a sudden, the Patriots have a little.
Listen, I don't mind the scenario. I don't mind the scenario of the Patriots being in the playoffs below them.
My point is, we need this. We need all of these to happen this weekend, because going forward, we got the Bengals the next weekend, and
conversely,
I don't see that happening well.
Let's see, the miracle happens. The Dolphins beat the Bills. We're 1 game behind the Bills. Now we beat the Bills, so we beat the Bills twice in that scenario. So we have that huge tiebreaker. So we are going to cheer our ass off for the Patriots to beat the Bills, because if that happens, guess what? Not only are we the AFC East champions, guaranteed to host a playoff game, we could possibly, depending on how the Chiefs collapse or not, we could be the top seed in the AFC to go from feast to famine. So famine to feast, I guess. But anyway, that's that game. But yeah.
So there's a lot to play out here. Obviously for the AFC East. Also, let's head over to our counterpart, the NFC East.
Yep.
As of right now, we have all 4 teams of the NFC East are in the playoffs as of right now, which is, is remarkable. It blows my mind. And so with that said, we've got the Giants at Commanders. coming up this weekend. That's going to be, I think that's a primetime game. I think that is
That's a Monday night. Is that a Monday night? No.
I think it's the Sunday night. Is it not? Oh, hang on. I'm looking at it.
It's going to be a big game. I think the Giants have to stop the slide. If they don't, then they're out. I think they're going to just collapse. I mean, the Giants have to stop. And now they're losing horrendously. They're not even losing. They're just so the Commanders.
They're on a skid for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Not a skid. Skid's like the Dolphins, but Dolphins are still scoring 17 points a game. The Giants are not scoring, and they're losing by 30 points. That's different than the Commanders. If they step up like they should, I think they handily win that game, put the Giants in the pretender pile, and the Commanders become a real contender for 1 or 2 games in the playoffs even. So we'll see.
Yeah. Interestingly, they're both knotted at they both have a tie, and it was against each other. That's how close
exactly. Can you imagine if it ties again? It's like the 2 times.
All right, what else we got on our docket? We got
the big game for me is Bengals at Bucks. I think that's going to reveal all.
Yeah,
I mean, we both want the Bengals to lose for various and sundry reasons.
Yeah.
And
no, because then they might just
then they'll be pissed against the Patriots.
just get pissed off, and we got them next week. So
that's true. Well, I'm hoping the Bucks. I hope Tom Brady snaps out of it. I hope he's at home. His own pride.
Listen,
a bit like Tua. The pride issue comes in and gets angry. He said, "Okay, I'm fucking Tom Brady. Come on, let's get over this."
Yeah. I got to be honest. As a fan, yes, I want the Bucks to win. I want the Bucks in the playoffs just because it makes football more interesting when Tom Brady's in the playoffs. But I just don't think they're going to. Honestly, after last weekend, after they got demolished by the 49ers, I have very little faith in their ability.
Yeah, I think also the fact that the Bengals have never played better. They're on this upward swing. Burrow's just.
Yeah,
Burrow's
just like, hey, you guys remember Jamar Chase?
yeah,
he's back.
So yeah, again, Bengals are another team no one wants to face right now. So it's going to be it's as tough as it is for the Dolphins to beat the Bills at Buffalo in the winter. It's going to be just as tough for anybody to beat the Bengals anywhere. So right now,
yeah, and then the last game that I'm eyeing on that lineup is the Titans Chargers. For 2 reasons, really. So, like I mentioned earlier, the Chargers, I would love, as a Patriots fan, I would love to get them out of any wild.
So for us, for the wild card teams, we need the Chargers to lose more than the Titans to lose, right? Because the Titans are leading the division.
I think the Titans are going to win their division.
So they should beat the Chargers.
Unless we go back to that scenario that we said earlier, where the Colts beat the Vikings. But anyway, no, I think the Titans are going to win their division. They seem to have a decent
like a 3-game lead or something. Yeah,
maybe, but so maybe not though. Because here was my second reason for watching that game is, to me, this is a big game of sort of like which team is real. Like, so the Titans, I'm looking right now that the Titans have they've been sliding pretty good here.
They lost last week without a reason to. Yeah,
they've lost 3 in a row.
Wow, and what's their record?
They've lost 3 in a row. They are 7-6.
And who's leading the division there?
Let's check it out. We've got they are leading the division. Jacksonville's behind them this game could be huge. They are leading the division at 7-6. Jacksonville is behind them at 5-8.
Yeah, so we need them to beat the Chargers because they're going to win the division anyway. So we need the Titans to snap out of it, beat the Chargers, and clear the decks for the Patriots and Dolphins to be able to have more of a wiggle room for the playoffs. Yeah.
Yes, I love wiggle room.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on.
So football's going to be fun this weekend. That's going to be definitely fun to watch.
Yeah. Hey, listen, that's our look ahead of football.
And I think the popcorn game to watch is the first half of the Lions at the Jets. I think that's going to be the popcorn half.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Go Lions! I'm jumping on hashtag Go Lions. I'm jumping on the bandwagon.
I'm going to wear I'm going to wear like a front from the Lion King, like this, do a Simba thing.
You know what's fun is we always my wife and I always talk about what teams we wish we rooted for, so in order to how we could dress up and go to games. Because I gotta be honest, as a Patriots fan, it is the most boring team to be a fan of. Because you're like, what do I like? What fun do I get to wear? What do I wear to a game? Like
you get to wear Uncle Sam or something.
Well, yeah, like the old Minuteman hat is all we ever come up with, an idea. But like but yeah, there's like like obviously like Vikings. Like I would love to be a Vikings fan, but yeah, like you just said Lions. I'd love to get a big Lions mane. And
how about a dolphin? Do I get a dorsal fin and the whole thing?
Totally, I'm just going dorsal, but like real dorsal fin, like not off the top of my head, but like off of my back, the back of my neck, right here. Just so it's really weird looking.
Yeah, this is a great topic, by the way. I think we need to give your wife and you some more topics to talk about. I don't think I've ever had that thought. Like, if I was not a Dolphin fan, to dress up like a plushie fan, who would I? What sport? I mean, the pirate would be fun in baseball, right? We could be a pirate. Anyway, so that's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, so RPF. We've covered this weekend's slate of games. We've covered our hope for the World Cup. Why don't you hit us with a little RPF right now? What's going on in your mind in the world of sports?
Well, all my teams are going through it right now. This is the like gut check time of the year. What it could have been the oh my god, it's really happening time of year for me. So going down the list, we all know about the Miami Dolphins struggles. 2 in a row. We've lost on the road. A third game at Buffalo this Saturday Night Live. Hopefully it's not going to become the Saturday Night Massacre. So hopefully it'll be something competitive and something that we can hang our hat on going to the end of the year. Moving forward to the Miami Heat, which is right now, we're in our first third of the season still. We're just not gelling like we were last season. Last season, we were basically a 3-point shot away from going to the finals and winning possibly, to now we're like hovering at 500. We have lots of injuries. And so right now we're just the past 2 games, we're getting our team back together, and we just cobbled together a win the night before this is recorded. So maybe that's going on the upswing. We'll see. We still have, of course, great players in Adebayo and Jimmy, Jimmy Buckets. But beyond that, I think we have to just snap out of it, frankly. But then the third thing that's happening, which is even more alarming than in anything else, are the Boston Red Sox in action during the free signing period, letting go or allowing Xander Bogaerts to sign with the San Diego Padres. So I will tell you that has been hard to watch, or hard to even stomach, because
it has.
Particularly when I'm still not over the Mookie Betts. Hell, I'm not over Nomar Garciaparra being able to leave for the. I'm not over Wade Boggs going to the Yankees, or anybody going to the Yankees like they all do. Benintendi and everyone else, Jacoby Ellsbury, and I can go down.
Johnny Damon.
What? And Johnny Damon, of course, yeah. Although you ever watch Below Deck on Bravo? Johnny Damon has been on twice as guest, and he's like such a drunk. He's so funny. His wife and him are like whatever.
He was one of my favorites. So I got to do spring training with him when I was with the Rays. And so I got to meet him a little bit. He was one of my absolute favorites.
He was fun, right? He's a great
absolute favorite. This guy traveled around. He had a $15,000 karaoke machine in the trunk of his car.
We did that in Below Deck. He had karaoke.
so I'm not lying.
And he's, oh my god!
I go. You got a $15,000 like legit, like not meaning like it's important to know that it's like a professional karaoke machine.
Right.
And I'm like, why? And his response was so priceless. This is what put him like in the echelon of just like all-time greats in my eyes. He goes, because you never know. And I was like,
yeah,
you never know when
the living. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So anyway, the point is that the Red Sox are literally like, oh my god, Mr. Bloom, the GM, you better pull a rabbit, because it's happening. And the third thing, the last thing I'll say, even the Florida Panthers, which had the best record last year in hockey, and we upgraded, if you can imagine, with our big off season signing, we're kind of floundering a little bit. We're hovering again at 500. We can't win on the road. We're 6-9-1 on the road. We've lost 2 in a row. So I just don't know if it's a lull. I mean, all of it. Look, this could be snapped out. All of this could be different when Tua pulls off a miracle, and everyone autocorrects themselves, and we're back to winning ways. But right this moment, right now, I'm like in this malaise, clutching, hope on one side, and being a Virgo pessimist on the other, and trying to balance that out. So I'm hoping that this is a temporary lull, but I'm scared that it might not be. So we'll see where we are next week.
Okay. All right. Well, with all that said, as we look into our weekend of games in the football and what you just mentioned with all the stuff going on with the Red Sox this weekend, let's take a look at what I hope happens. What do you hope happens this weekend?
Me? Okay. I have 3 things that I hope happens this weekend, and it hopefully will happen before this even airs. The Red Sox must re-sign Rafael Devers, arguably the most dynamic player in baseball for the next 10 years is Rafael Devers, who he hits the ball from the ground to the top of his eyeballs, and he literally is the best player in baseball in the next 10 years. If we lose him, then sayonara. Goodbye.
If you lose him, I have no idea what's going on over there.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I don't right now, but...
oh, my God. It's like this is worse than the Florida Marlins after every World Series where they just clean house and they can, So here we go. And then I think to that end, for the Red Sox to redeem themselves right away, we must sign Carlos Correa, which, by the way, it's the 28-year-old twin sensation shortstop to replace Xander. We need a shortstop at that level right now. And the more dangerous one is Carlos Rodon, who could, by this time this airs, he could be a New York Yankee because the Yankees are all over him. But he's a starting left-hand pitcher from the Giants, and he's only 30, and he could be a game changer, like a Chris Sale type guy for the Red Sox, which we don't have now. We need everything. We need pitching. We need infielders. We need first base. We need catcher. We need outfielders. Oh my God! The best position player we have is our manager.
I'm gonna start throwing again.
Well, listen, I'll take it. I am to the point where, how about your buddy from the Braves? He's probably available.
Chavi, yeah, let's get Chavi over there. Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome.
Anyway, so those are my 3 things that are all Red Sox related. That could be a moot point by the time this airs, but I'm hoping that we pull a rabbit and we kind of get back on track. So we'll see.
All right, mine is 1,000,000,000% selfishly related to the Patriots. I hope that the Patriots win. I hope that the Jets lose. I hope that the Dolphins lose. And I hope that the Chargers lose. Is it a lot to ask? Yes. But here's why. I have to ask because, like I said earlier in the show, we've got a very hard 4 games coming. Well, I should say 3. We got the Raiders should be able to do something with them. Then we have Raiders, then we have Bengals, Dolphins, Bills. And so hey, listen, if we want to keep this hope of a playoff spot alive, I need all these things to happen. So
you close the season at Buffalo or at New England?
Buffalo.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. That's a good question.
All right.
I'll look it up for another show. But yeah, it's against Buffalo. I know that.
That's not. Yeah, I mean that. If you guys pull that off somehow, and the Dolphins beat the Jets, that could be great for both of us. That could be,
Yeah. All right, that's all we have for the show today. Go sit down, watch football, watch the World Cup, enjoy all the sports happening around. It's been a great show. It's been a blast. You can find us everywhere you listen to your podcasts. We are also found shows socially on Instagram and Twitter, as well as at our own dedicated YouTube channel. Just go to any of those platforms. In the search bar, you're going to type Sports, of course, with Jonah and RPF. We'll pop right up. You can listen. You can view. If you're watching on YouTube, go check out the podcast. If you're listening on the podcast, go check out the YouTube. We're everywhere. Go find us. Reach out, say hello, DM us, send us questions, send us text, whatever you want to do. Love to hear from you. All right.
We are in the middle of the world's biggest weekend for sports, so enjoy, people.
Enjoy.